Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me at 339-1670. You can call my office at 238-6716. Those of you who have properties to sell or looking for a property to buy, you can also contact me. Those of you who lend your friend and your family your hard-earned cash and you cannot get it back, well, get in touch with Real Talk Debt Collection Department. Once you have an agreement with them, we will be glad to assist you in getting back your hard-earned cash that they decide not to pay you back. So I want to say a special good night to you. Those of you on our page, Real Talk page, like and share as we go live. Those of you on YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, hit the bell, and you will know when we go live. Now, viewers, it's Fire Friday tonight. We're back on the air, Fire Friday. Remember, a rerun of this program is at 10 a.m. the following day. So if you missed out the live, you can also catch it the following day from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, viewers, feel free to call in 238-6716. It's a live calling program where we interact with you, the public, in knowing what you think that the issues or how to address issues in your area. We give you the opportunity to do that. And because of that, viewers, Real Talk is number one. Because, like I said, we deal with the issues that are affecting us on a daily basis. So, as we start off tonight's program, government has shut down all schools and university effective tomorrow, Saturday, 14th of March 2020. This announcement came from Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali in a statement to the House of Representatives earlier today. This comes as Trinidad and Tobago recorded its first case of COVID-19.
At this stage, given our stated objectives, the government of Trinidad and Tobago will advise that from tomorrow, all schools and universities and other places of learning will remain closed for 1 week in the first instance in order to slow the potential spread of any infection that might be with us at this time. Unfortunately, there continues to be those in our society who insist on acting irresponsibly and spreading false information. The government has at all times acted with full transparency and will continue to do so. And I urge all our people to act responsibly and not spread false information and attempt to create mischief, which could only have the effect of creating a sense of panic, which would be the worst state to be in as we confront these challenges.
Dr. Ali also told the House that travel restrictions are now in place for persons traveling to this country from Norway and Switzerland. These countries have been added to an existing list of countries which travel restrictions were imposed. Dr. Ali urged managers and business owners to implement realistic sick leaves policy and to be flexible with workplace arrangement. So, you know, we have some bosses out there who are very hard and who are naive with their workers, and, you know, you want to cost them and you want to beg them because they're coming to work late, you know? Let me tell you something. If citizens know that right, they're in trouble. So this is a case of individuals being concerned of catching this virus that is taking place worldwide. So, boss man in business, have a little mercy, because if your family work, if your child or your son and your daughter are working for somebody else, you won't want them to be treated bad. So have some patience with the workers and be polite with them. He said people should be allowed to work from home where feasible and encourage all to act on public health recommendations. The Prime Minister said people should stay at home if genuinely suffering from respiratory illness, but noted that this is not a pass is not a pass to skylark and evade their responsibilities. He said there should be a promotions of a workplace culture that support people staying at home when genuinely sick. The Prime Minister noted that the government has advised a number of self-imposed cautionary measures that will soon slow down, delay, and possibly prevent the spread of the virus. So viewers, be safe, be cautious out there. We know some of you are out working long hours. It have the ones who could stay home and work, and it have the ones who cannot stay home and work. So to the ones who going out in the workplace, be safe, take your precautionary measures, your sanitizers, your water, your vitamin C, and be on the alert for any individual that is around you that is coughing and sneezing, and if they look like they have a fever, get the message out there. As we move along tonight, World Health Organization update. The World Health Organization continues to urge nationals to take a comprehensive approach when it comes to dealing with the threat of COVID-19. In its latest media briefing, WHO said there were 5,000 deaths as a result of this deadly disease. According to WHO, Europe is the epicenter of the disease.
More than 132,000 cases of COVID-19 have now been reported to WHO from 123 countries and territories. 5,000 people have lost their lives, a tragic milestone. Europe has now become the epicenter of the pandemic, with more reported cases and deaths than the rest of the world combined, apart from China. More cases are now being reported every day than were reported in China at the highest of its epidemic.
The World Health Organization said it is continuing to assist countries in preparations for COVID-19.
We have shipped supplies of personal protective equipment to 56 countries, and we're shipping to a further 28 countries. And we have sent almost 1.5 million diagnostic tests to 120 countries.
WHO also insisted that countries must take a step necessary when it comes to dealing with this epidemic.
You must take a comprehensive approach. Not testing alone, not contact tracing alone, not quarantine alone, not social distancing alone. Do it all. Any country that looks at the experience of other countries with large epidemics and thinks that won't happen to us is making a deadly mistake.
An article in a daily newspaper today stated that the patient who has been diagnosed with COVID-19 is at the Cora Chest Hospital. The report noted that a source on Friday said he arrived at the hospital late on Thursday night. The source said the man, who is from Switzerland and lives in Trinidad and Tobago, will recover. The source further added that his hospitalization is just a precaution. The man's family have been in isolation since it was determined that he had the virus. However, they have tested negative. The man's quarantine is being carried out under tuberculosis protocol, and contact tracing is being done to find the people who may have been in close personal contact with him. So viewers, be aware We know right now that Trinidad and Tobago is in a panic state. We know that. Everybody, every human being in Trinidad and Tobago, they are so cautious. They are so cautious right now that if you drop a pin in some places, you would hear it fall. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health, in its latest update, stated that there is still only one confirmed case of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. The health minister says, as of this afternoon, Friday 13 March 2020, the number of samples submitted to the Caribbean Public Health Agency for testing for COVID-19 is 63. It added that the number of samples which have tested positive remains at 1. It again reminds that CAFA is the only lab that is certified to test for samples of COVID-19. The ministry stressed that CAFA is therefore the only lab that can confirm positive or negative results of the sample. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Hello?
Hello, good night.
Yes, go right ahead.
I live at Dabadi. From since last, I called in twice to you already. No water. So with this disease what come out here, we have no water to wash we hand and we foot. Neither we face, no water at all.
Okay,
But
thank you.
since last year, January to now it trimmed 1 year and 3 months.
No water.
No water gets in the pipe.
Okay.
I live at Dabadi.
Dabari. Okay, no problem.
Dabadi.
Now, the minister is always saying, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Anything happen, wash your hands. I got a lot of call today from village throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Side, we have no water. Side, we're not getting water. Side, it's months now, we haven't had water in our pipe. So to Wassa now, be more proactive. We are on emergency in Trinidad and Tobago, an emergency alert. So go to the various areas, open up the lines, so the people in Trinidad now could get their water. Even in Tobago, do us a favor. Give people water, at least let them fill up their tank, their buckets, their barrel, whatever it is. Give them some water. Not only in Trinidad, but we have Tobago too. So the people in Tobago, I am definitely sure that some of them are in areas that have not had pipe-borne water. So Wassa, do Trinidad and Tobago a favor and release some water. Caller, good night.
Good evening, Saeed.
Go right ahead, yes?
Yes, good evening. I just need to get some clarification. I would like to know what the Prime Minister meant when he said that he has instructed all his high commissioners and embassies around the different entry points to check all the people that are coming on the flight before they come down here. And I would like to know, how come this man slipped through? Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. I would also like to know how the woman left New York, passed through Trinidad, went Guyana, and is dead. So since last night on my show now, I've been asking, is the thermometer or the equipment that the Ministry of Health placed at the airport, is it functional? Is it? Because in Guyana, even though they have an election bacchanal, they are panicking. They are on panic mode right now. It's like you push a button and it's like, ooh. They're on panic mode. Now, why we have this epidemic going on in Trinidad? Listen this. Businesses will be monitored to ensure that consumers are not being taken advantage of when they shop. This is according to Trade Minister Paula Gopi-Schoon. She hosted a media conference today to address trade concern over the COVID-19 fears. Minister Gopi-Schoon admits that there would be an increase in the demand for goods and service. However, she said, this is not the time for any business to engage in price hiking.
In the light of this, the Consumer Affairs Division is calling on all businesses to be fair in their pricing and to refrain from price gouging and any other exploitative practices. In a global health crisis, there is no place for this type of corrupt and unprincipled behavior.
The Trade Minister urged citizens to exercise the power of choice in this circumstance.
Consumers are encouraged to exercise their power of choice and engage in comparative shopping in all situations. Withhold purchase of any item that you believe to be unreasonably priced and patronize elsewhere where you believe you have received value for money.
The minister assured that there would be increased monitoring of price at this time.
Any enterprise that is found to have been party to an anti-competitive agreement has contravened the Fair Trading Act and may face a fine of up to 10% of their annual turnover. In this regard, the business community should anticipate increased monitoring and enforcement by the Trinidad and Tobago Fair Trading Commission, who stands ready to ensure that consumers are not taken advantage of at this crucial time.
Now, viewers, we have seen posts on Facebook, posts that people sent to me via WhatsApp. Said, look at these prices. I was like, wow. Serious. I was like, wow. Because, you know, business places now, I'm not blaming them, you know, but this is the time, this is the opportunity for them to make a big profit and a quick turnover. A big profit and a quick turnover because of what is taking place in Trinidad. You know, as they hear something short, a shortage in Trinidad, people start to rush into the grocery. Now listen to this. Members of the public have been told that there is no need for panic buying at this point in time. This comes from the Trinidad and Tobago Medical Association. According to one of its members, panic buying means crowd of people in a confined space for a period of time long enough for any infected person there to spread the virus. He observed that not everyone who presents with a flu-like symptom at this point in time will be COVID-19. Since this is the time of year when TNT has its post-carnival flu season, he urged citizens to follow all the preventative measures advised by the health authority to reduce the COVID-19 risk. So, I have shown you video clips of yesterday. In case of we should have a confirmed case, what will take place? So we did have a confirmed case yesterday by the Ministry of Health, and I did show you panic in business places throughout Trinidad and Tobago. That everybody was on a panic mood. You feel the flour go run out, you feel the rice go run out, you feel the ketchup or something would run out. It would not. It would not. Member of Parliament for Oropuch East, Dr. Rudal Munilal, said the Prime Minister should have quarantined himself and been tested for COVID-19 after his travels. Caller, good night.
Saeed, good night again. Saeed, we have so much important things like that pandemic we have. So a minister to get in a forum and talk about money we making and what trade and industry profit we making. We have people's lives. It is a pandemic. For God's sake, ministers, start to spray the schools. Don't just close them for a week. Start spraying the schools. Start spraying the orphanages. Start spraying the prisons. Saeed, this is so urgent and important. People just rocking back. If one person go to visit a prisoner, is the whole prison.
Yes.
People in the prison could pass out.
Yes.
We don't have nothing in the hospital. No, imagine St. Joseph Health Center don't even have this shot. The shot for you to get a dog by tetanus. They don't have Saeed across the board. What we playing with in this place are just playing Mickey Mouse and talking about trade and industry. Come on, all you wake up in this place, man, get serious again. It's only your platform. People could air, and you could let us know, the people on the ground, what is happening. Thank you again.
Thank you, my friend. Mr. Rural, he was speaking in the House of Representatives on Friday in response to a statement by Dr. Rowley on the country and COVID-19. The Prime Minister appealed to the entire nation, to the entire country, to act responsibly, to be more responsible, be cautious. Let me tell you something. Everybody batting in their crease now, you know. But I'm waiting to see who is flying out. You know, as something happen, we see people in authority tend to buy tickets and board planes and just move out. But I'm waiting to see. Because this one now, they have no place to run and hide. They have no place to run and hide. They cannot get away from this one. So you have to stay right here now and take it. In response to Dr. Munilal asking the Prime Minister if he believes it would have been responsible on his part to also self-quarantine himself and the person who traveled with him to Ghana, he added that passengers passed through London, New York, and Miami, and the person who regrettably contracted COVID-19 came from Switzerland, but passed through London, it is believed. Munilal asked whether Rowley should have made a statement from his official residence as the highest show of responsibility rather than in the public space. In his response, Dr. Rowley said, the logic of Dr. Munilal's statement is that he would shut down Trinidad and Tobago. In some countries, as soon as they confirm one case, they close down schools. They go on red alert. People start being cautious. Different agencies start pulling together. Presently, Donald Trump has issued a state of emergency in the United States. And every department, his ministry contacted, and they held a media briefing, and every CEO, every boss, every manager came together on one big platform. Donald Trump had a script in his hand, and he was calling the various entities and departments to come forward. Every single one of them stood on a platform and said where they're from, what company they represent, and what they're doing. In Trinidad here, we only giving statements and statements and statements. In the US, Donald Trump administration contacted everyone and they held a massive media briefing. Everyone came together and they came in front of that mic and they announced who they were and who they represent. So the people of the US could have seen it live. I watched it. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Hi, this is concerning the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley. He made a trip to Ghana, and he is coming back into this country. You tell me he is too big to take a test. Everybody else, this has not to do with your status. This is a crisis in Trinidad.
True.
Why he have to come in and not take a test? That is for everybody, you know, whether what status in.
Thank you, my friend. In a media release today, the United National Congress accused Health Minister Terence Dayal Singh of incompetency and lack of care for the health and safety of citizens. It said, if the situation was better managed by the government from the onset, Trinidad and Tobago would still have without any COVID-19 case. It pointed to the many occasions where it sought to have the House of Representatives discuss the issue at a matter of urgent public importance. One such occasion was on Wednesday, 4th March 2020. At that time, Member of Parliament for Caroni East, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, raised the matter for debate.
At today's sitting, for the purpose of discussing the following definite matter of urgent public importance, namely, the vulnerability of healthcare workers with respect to patients suspected of or having the COVID-19 virus infection. The matter is definite since the World Health Organization has declared it a global epidemic, which is now affecting countries within the Caribbean area. This development poses an imminent danger to Trinidad and Tobago citizens, with a more immediate danger to healthcare workers. The matter is urgent because healthcare staff are at this time inadequately prepared through a lack of policy direction, procedures and information, including protection measures to deal with suspected and or confirmed cases. The matter is of public importance because of the thousands of healthcare workers who, if unprepared, can unknowingly transmit the virus to its citizenry. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Now, viewers, you should have let the other part run.
Honourable members, I'm not satisfied that this matter qualifies under the standing orders.
What do you think about that? Eh? What do you think about that? Not a matter. On Wednesday, the 4th of March 2020, that took place in the House of Representatives. It was not an urgent matter. You know what we have now? What we have now? Eh? We have a matter of emergency now. Just a couple days ago, it was not important. Not important to discuss in case one case should come to Trinidad. How are we going to deal with it? A couple days down the road, it become a matter of urgency. So how are we dealing with it? How is the House dealing with it? On the 4th of March, they could have raised a discussion. On the 4th of March 2020, they could have raised a discussion and planned how they're going to deal with it in case something should happen. Well, you know what? It's down here, TNT in a panic mood. And what we going to do? What we going to do? Now we had to scramble now to put a plan in order. Sometimes you're calling somebody's phone. No communication. Now we have a confirmed case now, which may lead to 1, 2, 3, or 4. And what we going to do? We're in a frenzy. We're in panic. We're rushing to buy everything. A lady called me today watching the rerun. She said, how Saieed talking like here, care, so here realize the people care? I asked Auntie. I said, so now that we have a confirmed case here, what you going to do? Tanti, hang up the phone. Tanti, hang up the phone. I want to know what you're going to do now, Tanti. About 2 weeks back, I was saying, if we have one confirmed case in Trinidad, what we're going to do? For 2 weeks, I sing it on national television. We have a confirmed case now. So how are we going to deal with it now? On the 4th of March, 2020, if they had a discussion, they would have a strategy. You see, other countries are putting things in place. How do I know that? I get a phone calls from outside, from those on top. Saieed, we have this in place. Saieed, we have that in place. Saieed, we just watch your show, and we have this, that, and the next in place. They may stand up in the parliament and say that is not an urgent matter, and I don't see it fit for discussion. Well, I saw that tongue twist now. You see, when you're in a public office and you're holding a prominent seat, everything is a discussion. Everything. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Saieed, that is short-sightedness on this government. They didn't want to discuss that. It's the same thing they do about the crime, you know. Every time you raise it, they shut it down. Now, I want to call out and identify 3 instances which is visionary thinking. Laptop for schools. Remember, they shut it down. Cuba Hospital, remember they opened it?
Correct.
Right. And the last one is the wastewater plant.
That's a big one.
All these things would have helped us in this emergency. Laptop, you scroll down school and you could do education online. That is what Jamaica want to do.
Yep.
The Cuba Hospital with arm-bed space, they are forced to use it. That is egg in the face. The wastewater, now you say the gold standard is to wash your hands. We don't have water. We don't tank. And we don't have water. No, the 4th point is, the present plan they're using was developed by the UNC under Fuad Khan for the Ebola virus. So they're just taking that, running with it, and modifying as they feel. That is visionary thinking. No, you know why the Pitman didn't take the test for all of these things? You want to know why? Where it came from? Suppose Ebola show. I'll go and have a nice day.
I know where you're coming from. Thank you, my friend. The UNC is vouching to help in any way possible, in any way it can, and to help fighting this virus. The party said it has taken a decision to postpone its Monday night forum until further notice. Until further notice. Now listen to this. We're moving on to PTSD now. Members of the traveling public who display flu-like symptoms will be discouraged from using the public transportation. This is according to the Minister of Works and Transport, Mr. Rohan Sinanan. He was responding to a question in the House of Representatives this afternoon. Sinanan said the person with symptoms will be advised to self-quarantine. He said with immediate effect, all PTSD buses will desist from using AC and window will remain open. This, he said, is because of fresh air circulating reduce the opportunity for the spread. According to the ministry, gloves and masks would be provided for drivers and customer service representative. He added that the PTSD will ensure that all passengers sit 2 rows behind the driver to limit the spread of the virus. You'll hear that? So those of you who intend to use the bus, you get in gloves, you get in mask, and stay at least 2 rows behind the drivers. Mr. Sinanan further noted that all PTSD buses will be sanitized before and after everyday trip. He said hand sanitizer machine will be added to all terminals and soap will be available at all washroom. They're now putting soap? Don't make a joke. With regards to the inter-island service sea bridge, Mr. Sinanan said the terminals at the Port of Spain and Scarborough will be sanitized before and after every sailing, and that hand sanitizers will be available on board. So viewers, the minister is coming out and letting the public know that under his ministry, he is doing everything possible to make sure that the spread of this virus do not go further than where it is presently. Now, this is what Mr. Watson Duke had to say. The Public Service Association has taken a decision to close all of its office across Trinidad and Tobago for 2 weeks. This was the announcement made by its president, Watson Duke, this morning. This comes after this country's record its first confirmed case of COVID-19.
We have made a decision in the PSC here. We have made a decision that we will close all our PSA offices, all of them, Tobago, Trinidad, all. And we will come back out on the 31st of March to get an update, to get a briefing as to what we'll do after that. But in the PSA, as the president, responsible for staff and the lives of my members, we are closing our doors today.
Duke also called on workers to stay away from their jobs on Monday of next week.
The march for Monday, where we are marching for money, we are putting off that march. We are cancelling it. No march is on again Monday. No march on Monday. No march. Instead, the PSA is calling upon public officers in Trinidad and Tobago to take a day off on Monday. Take a day off on Monday. I repeat, the PSA is calling on staff in Trinidad and in Tobago to take a day off.
So we're moving now to the Judiciary of Trinidad and Tobago. The Judiciary of Trinidad and Tobago has have called on people with matters in court to limit the number of family members and other supporters accompanying them. It has also asked the public to be cautious and non-essential visitors as part of the Judiciary COVID-19 policy. On Thursday, staff at the Judiciary were told of the measures put in place for them. In a late-night statement, the Judiciary said its COVID-19 strategy objective was to do everything necessary to ensure access to justice and keep the judiciary functioning while protecting staff and customer. The strategy goals are to reduce the number of people entering the nation's courthouse and administration office and make them as safe as possible. For everyone who must be in those buildings, the public was asked to cooperate with the judiciary response to ensure their safety. So, those of you who have to go to court, you know, sometimes when you're going to court, you have 5 and 6 of them walking with you. Friends, family, who not even friends, supporters. So, the Judiciary of Trinidad and Tobago is asking the public to be aware and to lessen up on the people that is walking with you to go to the courthouse. So we're moving now. It is official. This year, Point 14 Borough Day celebration have been postponed until further notice. This comes amid concerns over the arrival of the novel coronavirus in Trinidad and Tobago. Mayor Kennedy Richards Jr. on Friday said decisions to postpone the near month-long festival was taken after serious collaboration with the council, the administration of the Point 14 Borough Corporation, stakeholders, and senior officials. In making the announcement, the Point 14 mayor acknowledged the far-reaching efforts of the cancellation. The mayor added that precautionary measures must be taken in light of the arrival of COVID-19 in TNT to ensure that the virus does not spread. He noted that avoiding large gathering is one of the measures to be taken. Mayor Richards said the council will continue to monitor the situation to determine when celebration can be held. He's urging the public and family members to take necessary measures to protect themselves and their families. So viewers, the mayor is extending his concerned issue to the public to be concerned of what is taking place, and the Borough Day celebration is cancelled until further notice. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, I noticed every time I'm watching and the opposition bring up a topic about anything, the House of Speaker does always, she don't be satisfied for what they're saying, right? So what is supposed to do? Bring in a next House of Speaker, so you got 2 of them. So you have 2 of them will combine and say if it's a right policy or if it's a wrong policy. You understand?
I understand.
And then, Moral Road flyover, coming down there when the people are selling hand soap liquid and all them dishwashing liquid and all them kind of thing, right?
Yes, yes.
You know, the price gone up,
It gone up?
$20, it gone to $45,
Serious?
And they remove it from by the side, not the highway where they're selling, and they carry it behind the house and put it. So every time some of them hold up, they're running, going behind the house and they pick up one and sell it. So the price of all them things gone up real expensive now.
Thank you for the update, my friend. But as you talk about that, I remember this. Yesterday afternoon, my wife went to buy hand sanitizer. And what we normally pay $10 for, it went up to $28. $28. I put it on the group, see if you can get it. $28 from a $10 bottle of hand sanitizer. She said, Saeed, would you believe how much I pay for this? She said, $28. I said, why didn't you leave it on the shelf? Why didn't you leave it? So to many individuals or business owner who is thinking about jacking up the price, your business place will be monitored. And according to the Minister of Trade, you will be charged 10% of the amount you make. It should have been 50-50. I'm telling you, it should have been 50-50 or 75-25. It's madness, you know. It's real madness. You see, now viewers, I hope with God's grace, and I've been honest with you here, I hope with the grace of God upon Trinidad and Tobago, that case that we have would somehow miraculously be healed. Serious. Because let me tell all you something. I just be up 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, following news all over the world. 1:30, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone is be ringing. Not from locals, you know, but from people outside of TNT. From senators and ministers. I tell you, they're connected outside. I don't have to look for fame on TV. I just always say that. I have it before I reached on TV. Before I reached on TV. Saeed, how Trinidad? I hear you talking. Continue doing what you're doing. But today now, last night now, 1, 2 this morning, a lot of individuals from the outside call me. Saeed, we heard that you have a confirmed case. Yes. How are you managing? Well, you know how Trinidad is. Because in other countries, you see what started to spread from China to US, Jamaica on red alert, Canada, European countries. They started to protect their borders. They started to put things in place for their citizens. In Trinidad here now, it is not a matter of urgency. I wonder how she's feeling now. I wonder how the House Speaker feeling now. To know that just a couple days back, you say it's not a topic up for discussion. It's not an emergency topic. I wonder how you're feeling now. Political leader for the People's National Movement in Tobago Council, Tracy Davison Celestine, is assuring that the island is in a state of preparedness in the light of COVID-19. Davison Celestine was speaking with reporters following a swearing-in ceremony at President's House on Friday. She said some Tobagonians are panicking since the announcement of the TNT first confirmed case of COVID-19 yesterday. Davison Celestine noted that several events including the Tobago Jazz Festival, have been cancelled over the COVID-19 fears. But a lot of events in Trinidad also have been cancelled. She added that focus is being placed on getting or dismissing false rumor and getting accurate information. Davison Celestine said she is satisfied with measures currently in place in Tobago to treat with COVID-19. Is there any center in Tobago that in case one confirmed COVID-19 case should announce in Tobago? Is there any centers prepared? No. No, there is none. I'm telling you, there is none. I think it is Minister Sinanan that said, I believe is that the Coast Guard will ship you from Tobago to Trinidad to put you under quarantine. So listen this. Listen this. They will ship you in a Coast Guard vessel. So let's just say it have one case confirmed in Tobago. Would you be coming down in a box? On the boat? I'm just saying something. I'm just saying something. Caller, good night.
Saeed.
Yes?
A ship was taken in water. One of those party boats, they couldn't get the Coast Guard to come and help them. They're calling the Coast Guard to bring anybody from Tobago quite over here. When the Coast Guard ship going to reach Tobago and bring those people back here. Next thing, if they have to push back SCA and CSC, they have to. That could make people's lives more important. And you see the Speaker of the House, she needs to be removed like 2 weeks ago. Because every time somebody bring up an issue,
it's not
she
important.
never see the importance of it. Get rid of them one time. Those things. Thanks.
Thank you. Since it's Fire Friday, we have 10 minutes before we show finish. So let me pop the question tonight. Would the election be cancelled? Would the election be cancelled in, I think it is August or September? August, September, somewhere around there. Would it be cancelled? I'm just saying. You know the EBC, they extend the hour. Time for voting from 6 to 6. All the years I live in, I never see an election extend. First time in my life, I have seen an election extend. So I wonder now, elections is about 5 or 6 months away. And the panic in Trinidad is now start. Because it started off in Wuhan in China as one suspected case. And then it gone on to 2. And then it moved on. St. Lucia, I believe, confirmed 1 case today, this afternoon. So the Caribbean confirming. It confirming going up. I think Jamaica increased. They confirm another case, I believe. Yeah? We're going up. It now starts. For those of you who do not understand how serious it is, in Italy is over 500 cases confirmed. It's a lockdown. Italy is locked down. Well, I don't know if they would suspend flight from the UK. If they do, it would hamper my trip. But nevertheless, safety is better. Caller, good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead, my friend. Sorry for having you waiting so long.
That's all right. So we finally found use for the Coast Guard vessels.
Mm-hmm.
We finally find a use.
Yeah, we finally have our work for them.
Right. My thing is that today on CNN, Venezuela have 2 confirmed cases.
Oh, thank you. It slipped my mind. Yes, Venezuela confirmed 2 cases.
Right. Does that mean we will be locking down the borders finally, or the best?
Well, that is a very good question. That is a very, very good question. We would have to wait and see what will take place. Now, viewers, let me tell you something. It started off in some countries with 1, and it started off with 2, and it started off with 3, until it have deaths in the countries and them. And I have been saying for about 2 weeks, if we have 1 case in Trinidad, what would we do? What would we do? How are we going to deal with it? Because keep in mind, they don't have a solution, a healing chemical to what we have now. They don't have a healing procedure. They don't have medicine. So don't tell yourself, when there's a confirmed case, you're going to the hospital and you will get an injection and it will pass. It would not pass. I am not putting you on panic mood, but I am not sweeping anything under the carpet. There's one thing I intend to do: sweep it under the carpet. Like I said, was the individual in the Arima hospital for 3 days. And the nurses had to pull blinds right round the bed. Tell her, I get my sources, you know. I was mashing up on the last show, you know. Home quarantine. But nevertheless, a rerun of this program is at 10 a.m. tomorrow, viewers. We will be back. We will be back on Monday. We have about 3 minutes left. Caller, good night. Oh, I forgot him.
Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yeah, I just a little heads up. I received a video coming from Mount Hope Hospital with a Chinese national.
I have it, but I have the video, but I am waiting.
They're still saying it's one.
I am awaiting results to find out if it is a confirmed case or not.
Okay, and the twin mover.
Thank you, my friend. I didn't want to show the video so anybody would be, you know, that is another case. No, I want to make sure. That is why I did not run the video. But I have it. So, Deputy, Mr. Sadro, if anyone knows this individual, Mr. Sadro, would you tell him that Saeed Real Talk, that collection department, wants to have a word with him? And also Miss Maraj, would you let her know that Real Talk, that collection department, would like to have a word with them? 339-1670 or 238-6716. Now viewers, property with my arrow. I have a lovely, 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 lovely beachfront property in my arrow. For those of you who are interested, businessmen interested in buying a property in my arrow, Manzalina Beach, it's yours. It is very, very beautiful. The land is nice, it's flat, it's the beach on the other side. Yes. There it is, viewers. A very, very beautiful piece. It's a flat piece of land. If you are interested, you know those hierarchy businessmen, you don't like to have your beach house on the beach, that is the proper location for you. Look at that. Look, the beach is right on the other side. So if you look at it on the screen, you will see the red dot. You will see the red dot. The blue dot is the Mayaro police station, and the red dot is where the land is. You see? It's water. Beautiful piece of land there. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, I will be right here on Real Talk Monday, God's Spare Life, to bring you all the updates of the virus, of the incidents, of the epidemic that is taking place, of the panicking that is taking place in Trinidad. I will be with you here Monday on my show. A rerun of this program is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Whatever problems you are having, spiritual problems, people owe your money, you have properties to sell, contact us at 339-1670, 238-6716, and we'll be glad to assist you in any way possible. I am in a negotiation with someone concerning the land. Remember I told you about my rape crisis center? I'm in negotiation with someone. I tell you we're moving forward. So viewers, be safe, enjoy the weekend. And be safe. Good night.